Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
So where we left is, we have created policy with all the sick occasion emergency and it was generating properly for him, right? The last session, right? Now what we need to do is we have sick policy which will be prorating based on data fire. So we need to find the person who was hired in the middle of the year and assign it to him on the data file and see if it is prorating the house based on our policy. It is prorating based on data fire. So if you assign a workbook, we'll not be able to see how it is prorating. We need to find the employee and assign him on the data file and see if it is prorating properly. For that, first let me open the policy. Is this the one or did we create a Austin Nifty? Austin Nifty is sick. Okay, so we have one grant which is providing 96 hours yearly. But this grant will be like we got only on Jan 1st. That is how we have created it, right? Right. We haven't created anything to trigger on data fire. We have like, let me remove the probation also. It just did. So let me remove it for the time being. So we need to create one more grant with a reference to hire date so that it triggers on his hire date for the first year alone. So this is a repeating grant which triggers on each time on Jan 1st and provides him 96 hours. This is fine. We need one more grant with the reference date of his hire date. So, because this grant is referring to the date of Jan 1st, but we need to have a new grant based on his hire date. So first let me see how is the hire date map here. So there will be a number of person specific dates. So we can leave all this. What we need is the hire date. This is like, since many people have come in and created and added so many things, there are a number of items showing up here. Or else what will be available here is there will be one row and it will refer to this is the hire date. This is system default option. So if you see here what are the other options available, means whatever they have created here will come as the dates. So exclude everything. Person specific date means we will have a hire date here. That's it. So we are going to use one of these reference date in our date button to generate the date button on his hire date. So we have a date. Now we will go to a date button. There are a number of date button for hire date I have created before. Let me see. Is there anything? Reference date based on hire date, hire date, hire date. Just hire date. I'm looking for. Okay, we will create one. We will create a one-time date button. Date of hire one time. I'll give a name like that and the reference date is directly. I'll choose hire date from here. This is a system default option we will be having. This is system generated. This is not what we have created. This is inbuilt. This will directly map to the employee's hire date. Okay, other option, everything is whatever we have created in the dates. Jan 1st, January everything. But this alone is a system default option. This hire date. This is directly the link from his hire date in his profile to Accruals. So we need to choose that option. Just the hire date. I have a question. Yeah. So I remember when we were creating Accruals profile, right? And then we wanted to map one of the employee to our profile to see if everything is working. But remember, you had to remove like sign-offs. Employee's profile. Yeah, what was the actual reason behind it? I sort of like wanted to make sure we will not be able to assign anything beyond the signed off period. Once it is signed off, the employee signed off means it will be showing this time card as signed off. No profile changes can be applicable before that date, the last signed off date. If you want to do some changes post date, then we need to remove the sign off and only then the system will allow us to. So if we do that, is there something like in real world? Like when we do it, does something happen to an employee's profile? Like how do we know? Like because of the sign off removal. No, nothing will change. That's the sole reason of signing off. Signing off is like locking up the time card and the profile. No changes will happen after the particular period or particular month they signed off. Okay. Whatever the changes will happen only in the open period. If they want to do a historical correction, then they need to remove the sign off and then make the profile changes. That is like one of cases. Like all cases, only we will be doing that. Mostly it will happen on the current period only. As soon as the employee is hired, then he will be assigned with the profile. Okay. Now let me create this date pattern. This is to provide a grant on his hire date. And frequency can be anything, days, months or week. Just give us one. The reason is we are going to do it as a one-time grant. So we will limit it up. After first, it is your grant, it will limit it up. So let it be like this, nothing in the offset. We will save it out. Now I need to create a grant. Save, save. Save and tick. Okay, now I need to create a grant similar to what we have created for the other IG. The same ABC seg. But duplicate. I'll duplicate it. The only change is here. This should be one time. Okay, and I'll give a name here. One. Grant. So this is a fixed again and the date pattern should be what we created now, DOH. Is this the one DOH one time? I think so. Let's see. If it's not working, then you need to check it out. So this does not expire. And this is where we need to choose this option based on date of file. Okay, that's already chosen, this prorating option. It is already chosen. So fine, well and good. Now we will move to this. One second. Okay, let me see. Sorry, accrued policies. Australia FTC. We need to add one more grant here, which is R. Where is our AES FTCG? Oh, what is the name? One. Not this. No, it was. D or one-time grant. Oh, one-time grant ABCC. Okay, here it is. Again, here I'll give 96, but system should auto-collect it too. It should prorate because we have chosen the prorate option, right? It should prorate it. I'm saving it. Where is the prorate option? Sorry. In the grant we have chosen right. There will be option. Oh yes, based on data file. Yeah, now we have done everything. What I need to do is, now we need to pick an employee or even the same employee. But we need to go back to his hire date and assign the policy and see if it is working properly. Let me see what is his hire date. He's from 2021 only, so we can remove till 2021 the sign off. Let's see what we got first. First, I'll remove the 221, 7221. I'll remove the sign off until his hire date. Okay, now it's not signed off. Now I'll go to the Accruals and lead and assign it to 75, 2021. This one I assigned like this, okay. You are using the same employee. Yeah, I was using the same employee for the NYC full time. This is my but when you are testing, pick a different employee. So, because I am assigning one, I'll be testing through that employee. You need to pick a different one. I'm assigning it from his hire date. How did you know by the profile how many sign-offs left that you have to remove? No, we need to keep on removing until it says it is not signed off. Oh, so you don't know, but you just keep removing. The thing is simple. It will remove once we click. One removes sign off, it will remove it for one pay period. The pay period is depending on the employee. It can be bi-weekly, weekly or monthly. Is there a way to select like date range and remove all at once? That can be done only through integration, but through system. You need to do this like this only. There is no shortcuts. I'm running the report from his hire date to see if the policy is working correct. Okay. That's just one more. Okay. When you're running the report, it will usually take this time, like even real world. No, it will not take this much time. For one employee, it will take this much time. Sometimes system will be a little bit slow. It's not even running, it's updating. So it's somewhere stuck. So let me wait. Or I'll run it once again. Something is wrong with the system. Sometimes this happens. This is just a test environment, right? So sometimes it will be slow. I'll tell it to run again. The only way that we can test it, check it out properly. But let's see. Let's go to his hire date in here and we'll see the actual available balance. So he's hired on July. Okay, I'm giving his hire date. I'm ready to see how many hours he has got in the sick. he has got only 4 hours. Showing probation, not show why. We removed the probation right from the policy. What is still showing probation? I don't think you removed from the last one. Okay, fine. Let it be there. It's fine. It's showing the hours. Only thing is, after 60 days, he will be able to take this. You can see here, right? It is showing us 0, but he's having 47 hours, but it's in probation. So you release it. Since he is hired on July 5, it is divided by 365. And the rest of the value he is getting is 47. He is almost exactly at the half of the year, right? So he is getting almost 50% of the day. Clear how the probation works. So how many hours he should be getting? I think just do the math. Like it will be somewhere here. Only see he is exactly near to the half of the year. So A6 divided by 2 is 48. So he has just gone 5 days more than the half of the year. So he is getting some 47 point something. Oh yeah, for the year 21. It's like half. So he is getting around half. He is not exactly half. If he is hired, it is exactly 7 months. He might be getting 48 but a little bit. It is adjusting a bit like that. And it will show probation till 2 months. Only after 2 months. If you see, let me show you. This is how probation also works. Only after 2 months, he will be able to see his balance credited in the normal column. It doesn't matter what's the end date you choose, right? No, the end date. I'm choosing it just to show you the 2 months probation period. So if you see here, he's still in probation. Where come the 143 comes? Abhi, you can just check with the probation period. Then the system will show 0 here instead of like. This is something. Then now, if you see here, it is showing some like the 0 went up, right? You see, here the 0 would be there. Okay, now until 2 months, 0 is there. Yeah, it should be. Until 2 months, 0 is there. And if 2 months, not 2 months, 60 days. Until 60 days, 0 is there. Only after crossing 60 days that will go off. That's how probation period works. So each day you select on the time card. It changes based on what day you select, right? Yeah, if there is a manual upload, a policy is giving him weekly. See on like a 9831. The employee will be having 16 hours of vacation only. We are granting him monthly. So on 9 and 31 he'll begin getting 30. So not to confuse you, like I used to run this report. Okay, report is completed. Because it will give proper data which date what got credited. Okay, here's some mistake has happened. You need to delete this entry. Again on 7/6 he got something credited. So we need to remove it. Apart from that, if you see here on 7/5, he's earning 47 based on his data file. And it is adjusting to 0. Only at this probation, and whatever he has earned during his probation is getting credited. So here's an additional entry. I need to delete it off. I didn't check this employee's profile before, so someone might have added it manually. I'll delete it off. This is the only entry we should be having. And at the end of the probation, we will be getting that as 4072T. The 0 will change that. And again then on a yearly basis, we'll get another 96. How can you find out who is the other employee? Like this. I think I have assigned him with the previous profile. So something might have gone wrong or he's getting the additional entry. We can remove this up. Like we just need to refine the policy one more. The next day, it's always getting right. What I'm saying is just to understand. So this is just for that Jane Smith profile. It's not for any other employee, right? If it works for one employee properly, it will work for others. We need not to test each and every one. Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just saying like the 96 hours is also picking up for Jane Smith, not for anybody else. No, if it is picking up for him, it will be picking up for others also. There's a small bit of flaw in the policy that we need to be correcting. You can ignore this for the time being because I have created the other grant also to prorate based on data file which I need to remove. There shouldn't be any proration. It should grant him only once yearly. So that frequency, I have done a mistake, so it's granting it out. So this can be ignored. So that particular date button, I need to change it out for the normal policy. Because initially I thought this particular grant. We have used the existing one, ABC grant. So that grant is designed in that way. Like it's used in my previous policy. It is designed in that way. Maybe we'll create a new one for us so that is, even if you delete it. Why should we? It will cause issues with the policy. There will not be any grant mapped to it. They should have a yearly one. The other grant will grant it only once on data file. It will not repeat that. There will be no frequency to repeat also. What mistake I have done is for this. Also, I told you to grant it. Here, I need to choose one. This is a yearly grant, so yearly grant on my number 1. He needs to get 85. Again, this date button I need to see. Okay, you have changed the date button, bro. That's a problem. Like, don't use the policy, bro. Whatever I have created, right? Don't change it anywhere, okay? If you are testing, create a new policy and test. That's a problem. That's why I was also a little confused what went wrong. So don't change it. I am using it for like 3-4 policies. So when you create yours, right, in that you map it out. Don't change it to this. You have changed it. Yeah, I thought I clicked on duplicate. I was gonna do that, but maybe you have duplicated, but you have changed the whole policy also. Like now, I need to again recheck what policy grant I have given. Luckily, I have documented a few items. I need to see it and check it out what I have given. So that's the reason it is giving that additional grant. So whenever you create something right, do the other one. Because even I need to do some reverse engineering and see what I have done wrong. No, I know, sorry. Now I need to see my date buttons also if there is anything else changed out there. Oh, for sick, it is 1st January. Okay, you have renamed the date buttons also. No, I just the date pattern. I think that's one. I didn't change anything. It just a renamed, just to identify which one I have to use. I think that's what I did at the end. You will see like it was the same one. It's just that I added ANYC at the end. But yeah, when you create it, try to create a new one or duplicate and create a fresh one. Yeah, I have to duplicate and create like separate one for sure. That was my mistake. Yeah, because I have mapped these items to multiple policies, my previous classes, the other budgets. I have mapped the same thing when I'm taking classes. So ABC policy is also part of other training materials. Okay, sorry, okay. And the problem is that there is some issue with the policy, right? I couldn't figure out why. What caused this additional thing? Because I designed the policy in a way that this is for one time and then it will give you nearly. So even I was not sure what caused this. I'll again redo the policy. Even if you want, you can use the existing patterns but don't change it out. The names or the options. I don't think option wise I changed anything. I think I just renamed to use it. No, we have changed it here also. First of each month. The date which I had is this, but it is changed to Jan 1st, the other one. That is the reason I'm keeping it as a little bit dark one. I'm able to remember at least a few items. If not, it will be difficult to backtrack it. That's why. Yes, for sure. Sorry, I didn't think. You know you also are taking other classes with the same one. I'm sorry. Yeah, but still, even if I'm taking a single class, right, it's always the process. When you are creating something, either you need to use the existing one how it is, or you need to create a new copy and work on it if you're going to make changes. In real time, we didn't find this many like. This is like the testing and the practicing kind of thing in one. So we find a number of duplicates here. In real time, we find only the unique kind of 2-3 items. Yeah, 2-3 items only. So, but like when we do some changes or configuration changes, how? Like that's how we do, right? We will first keep this whole policy there itself. We will create a dummy one. We will test on it, and if that works, then we will rename it to the original one. Yes, exactly. One more, like you might have like quoted some query, like you want to test all the employees. No, like, as per my knowledge, who are the employees has been created in a particular organization unit. So all the employees has been tagged to that particular organization unit. That organization is going to be as in this policy. Depends on the like a date of joining, whether he's a regular employee or he's been a probation employee. Once we test the one record or two records randomly, then the policy is going to be what? Right? So just we need to test it for one or two people. Or maybe if you are going to do the implementation for a very big population, you can pick maybe randomly 4 or 5 people. We'll test it out. And usually developers, what we will do is we'll do it for one or two people and we'll give it to them. The users like OAT, user acceptance testing, which the particular subcompany or the people who are doing it, they will do it for a bigger population, maybe 10 or 15 people. They'll test it out. And then they'll provide the feedback if it is working properly or not. Yes. So you do not have to be testing it for all the people. Just a sample would be enough, more than. Yes. Once we tag it to the employees who are particularly into that particular organization. So the system is going to be work accordingly, like one for the probation, one for the regular employee. For regular employees, the system has to pick all the 96. But the probation period depends on the high date it has to be paid. Select a date. This much is done, Kiran. Like you are in math. If you have any queries on the other items regarding the approvals or pay, apologies. You can just post it to me. I can show you how we are fixing it out in the Chrome. Sure. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Karan and Aridmath. Yesterday, we are doing like the trial and error kind of thing, like whatever you have taught in the previous classes. So, you are parallelly working on the different environment. Like for example, like the pay policies, the definition part. You just have worked on hourly basis. Just I'm working on selecting the money base. Yes, this kind of like trial and error base I'm working on. So money here. You have some idea of what money is doing in there, right? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Example, like in IT companies or any other organization, employees who work on the night shift, they'll be paying allowances about the salary. They'll be paying around 800 or 900 for the shift allowances. So for that kind of example, it's going to be worked. I think so. Yeah, so that is really used, Kiran, moreover. Because even the allowance will be automatically calculated. Right now we have logics in the payroll system. Like if we do this as a night shift employee, there is automatic triggering of allowances and other stuff that's happening in the background. But again, like some, well, like very few companies are using it in this way, which is using the money paid for and so on. So the thing is like Kronos is like a big system which has options for everything. Like whatever you want to do, you can have it, whether it's commonly used or not, you have the privilege. If you want, you can use it like that. It is one of such options, which is not like primarily used by organizations, but some companies use it. And it's an interview question. Prospective. They will ask it what type of pay codes we have. This is like whenever I take the class, if I find something which will be in the interview, I'll just give you an insight. So money pay code, like the types of pay codes. That will be an interview question mostly. What types of pay code do we have? And in standard, what types of standard we have? Hours, days and money. And again they'll ask types of pay code. Means standard like contributing and cascading. Cascading, yeah? Those things also they'll ask. We just need to give them the names. So in such a way, we are working on that. If I found any difficulties in getting the things better, so definitely we'll keep working on it. Yeah, today we'll just again also see whatever we have missed out. Just a glance on first accrual round rules. So this is again, most companies will disable this option. They don't need this itself. I'll show you. Oh, the system is slow today. So what this does is we need to give a name. Okay, some rounding as 50 rounding something. And we need to choose what is the rounding units. Days or hours. If our accrual is days based, we can choose days, but whatever we have created is hour based. So we'll go with hour. How it should round. Whether it should round like if it is 7.5, whether it should round to 7, or whether it should round to the decimal values. If you give 0.30, that means it will round to half hour if it is a point value. If you give 15 minutes, it will round the whatever the balance we are predicting into 15 minutes. If it is 4.1, it will like round it to 4 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. No, I was just trying to answer the questions. Yeah, it's just rounding off. So, but we will not be using it. The reason is either the employee will lose few hours, few minutes, or like at least 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes sometimes, or sometimes he will gain 1 or 2 minutes if we are rounding the accruals. So you're getting my point, right? So yeah, suppose nobody wants to pay less or more. So mostly they will not be using it. What they will do is they will directly put it in the policy itself, because policy accepts up to 2 digits decimals. So if I want to make something changes here, I'll directly put it like if I want to give 96.4 for like, I can give it here itself 96 because 2 digits it accepts. So I can give like this, so he'll get the exact amount. Because even if you see it's a 2 minutes or 3 minutes, if you are going to give it for 2000 employees, it's a great loss for you. And if you're giving less for than 1000 employees, they will come up with the n number of questions. There will be legal issues. Big problem. Yeah, so that's the reason your current organization, like we don't even have this option enabled. We have disabled it, so when we go to set up, this will not be there. Right. So probation period, we have seen what is probation period. So now let me take you through the balance cascade. So balance cascade, like you just need to imagine like this. I can show you some images if possible. Properly created balance cascades. Okay, no, nothing is available. So let's stick to this itself. Okay, so whatever is there, I'll just take it okay. There is a sick cascade. There is a food to vacation cascade. Let's see what this is about. Okay, fell is family leave. Okay. What here they are doing is, they are cascading the What this does is this is simple, bro. Cascade is simple. We choose a particular date. Okay, on that particular date, if an employee is having balance in a particular accrual, we can either move it to a different accrual or we can actually pay it out. You see, here there is two options: pay out to a pay code or transfer to accrual code. Okay, so what accrual we are choosing is, we are choosing in this case family leave. The family leave example every year end, rather than zeroing it out or limiting it. This company has a requirement that every year at the year end, whatever the family leave balance he has, it needs to go into the vacation bucket. So he can choose family leave here. We are not paying out, so this can be done. We are transferring it to the Accruals vacation. But then what we need to choose here is we need to choose the date pattern. Here they have chosen 1 year degot. For us, if you want to transfer it on every December 31st, we need to choose this, the yearly pattern which we have created. Example, I'm not saying it example. And we can choose whether we need to transfer the full amount or whether we need to transfer 50% or 20% or it is a fixed amount. Say 40 hours. If the employee is having 40 or more hours, transfer 40 to vacation. The rest can be there with the family leave. So, any questions on this? And again, this reduced to zero option is whether you like here 100%. So, we'll be moving everything. Sometimes we'll be choosing 50%. So, whatever is left over, whether we need to keep it like that or we need to reduce that to zero. Reduce that to zero means it will reduce to zero. Right. So, it's more like a cascading from 1 to on a particular date range. Okay, some companies will have, say, for the first year they will give some additional leave or some special leaves. So that leaves, if they are not utilizing it, that can be transferred to some other product. If recently they had COVID leaves, some people might have not taken that. It is applicable for 1 or 2 years only. Now we don't have any COVID special leaves to the policies. So we had a huge accrual work when COVID came up. Every client or every organization, they need to have a specialized policy for COVID in the each and every population. So that is for a limited period. So now what they will do is, okay, you have not used anything. Let's transfer this to this. Mostly this happens between sick and vacation. The employees will be provided sick accruals. If they are not using it on the particular year, there is a privilege in most organizations that sick will flow into vacation. Here we can choose like how many. Whether it's a fixed number of hours or a percentage of hours we have or both. Like if you choose this and this, which is the greater value, that will do. And whether we need to reduce the existing family leave to zero or not, that we can choose. So usually it's reduced to zero. So any doubts in this, Imad or Karan? No. And again, it's an optional one. It may not be there like applicable. It's not applicable for all the accrual policies. It's not a mandate. Again, similarly like this. Now we have one for family to vacation. Similarly, there can be another for sick to vacation for the same policies. There can be another one like emergency to sick leave or emergency to vacation. They can have multiple cascade created and we can group it everything together in one. We can have multiple cascades. Like whatever cascade we have created will be there. We can group it in under a single folder and then we can assign it to the employees' accruals. So any doubts on this, Kiran or Imad? Here we have a policy. We lost my previous organization. Like we have a casual leave, we have a sick leave, and we have an leave years. The casual leave will be lapsed every year, whatever the quota that is available. And the sick leave is something like, for example, we have around 22 per annum. So whatever we have used, suppose for that particular year, that particular candidate has been used for 15 leave. So the rest of the 7 is going to be carried forward to the next year and it's going to be added to the regular one. Like 22 plus 7, it's 29 on the Jan 1st. So this cascading is something like that. Cascading is not like that. Here, what you are saying is like that's a carryover. We saw the carryover limit, right? We gave 40 hours of carryover in our policy. It is similar to that. We are allowing him to carry over up to 40 hours. That means 5 days. In your organization, it is 7 days. Other leaves are getting expired like what we do it for. Here also we have for our emergency and this one. Emergency and sick. We are saying no carryover, so it will lapse if they are not using it. But vacation is like we are carrying over 5 days to the next year. That is like that. Barrel cascade is like, see some companies, what they do is they will grant them. Like some go like 1 sick day for a year or 1 floating holiday will be there. Mostly they'll be giving floating holiday 1 or 2 days per year. If they're not utilizing it, they will add it to next year's vacation budget. Jenford. It's like we are doing it between 2 different policies. In your case, and what we have created is like same vacation. We are limiting certain hours and giving back the rest of the hours. And again, barrel cascade is like we can also pay them out. Some companies. There are organizations. What they will do is, if you are not utilizing it, okay, yours will not lapse, but we will pay it out at the year end. Yes, they'll pay on cash basis. Yeah, cash through the salary, like whatever. That can also be done here because it's simple. And same thing if you choose here, instead of choosing transfer to approval board. If I choose none here, and if I choose the same payout as pay code, what pay code we have chosen for our vacation is again the same vacation. If I choose that pay code here yearly on that particular date, those number of hours will be vouchered to his time card under vacation pay code and he'll pay it out. Yes, like that. So, it's that kind of thing mostly. They do it during termination. Those items. Some companies do it using balance cascade, but mostly what the termination payout right now, how they're handling it. They're handling it through the integration because we don't have any date pattern or anything to determine when the employee will get terminated, right? So this, they have something they have tested out, but this is not possible. The reason is we don't have a reference date. We have a reference date, but higher date. We have a reference date for anniversary, but we don't have a reference date for termination, right? Yes. Yeah, it is quite random. So we cannot have it like someone has created. Like got taken session based on that. This is practically impossible. We can do it. Yes. We are not maintaining the database here in Kronos. No. So we have no option for that. No termination, we cannot predict the date, right, Kiran? What I'm saying is, even let's say today I'm hiring someone and I'm fixing, okay, you are going to get terminated on December 31st. Means I can create a barren cascade to do the payout. So how termination payout happens in Kronos is it's through integration. We have person input, right, which loads the employee into the application, and whoever is getting terminated, it will terminate them in the Kronos on that day. Okay, so we can have a logic built in within the integration stating that whoever is getting terminated, whatever the balance they have, just fetch it out and directly send it to the payroll. Yeah, I'm here. So Kiran's voice looks. Can you hear me, Kiran? Yeah. So that is about this. And again, this is somewhat linked with the other item, which I am going to tell you. Again, it's a kind of a difficult question in the interviews. Definitely, if someone with a technical knowledge, good technical knowledge, they are asking you, they will ask about cascading, policy, and profits. Okay, this is like first, they will start with basic interview questions. And once you are in the middle of the interview, they will start with the difficult ones. First difficult one in this pay policy, which most people suffer to answer, is this one, cascading. This is like, let me open one. What we are doing is, they are here and they have made bullshit. Let this be fine, okay? What this policy does is what they are doing here, whole cascade. Let me go to good policy. This looks like shit. This is a simple one. Okay, what I can tell you. Say if you say this, see this, right. This is the simplest form of cascading. I am applying for a vacation. So I am applying like example. I'm at, you have only 2 hours of vacation left in your policy. But you need to take 3 days leave or 2 days leave. 2 days means 16 hours. You only have 2 hours. So you're applying for vacation. What system will do is, in this case, I'm giving an example. This case, consider this to be vacation. What it will do is it will take 2 hours from the vacation and will put the other 14 hours under unpaid pay. I have to say unpaid here, right? So whatever the uncascaded balance is there, it will take it to unpaid. So you will be able to take leave. If there's company policies like that, you'll be able to take leave. You'll get 2 hours of payment for the leave, but the other 14 hours will go as unpaid. You're taking like leave without that. Any questions around this? It means a lot of pay, right? It means a lot of pay, the 14 hours. Yeah, it is 14 hours will go as unpaid pay. You will not get any payment for that. Any payment for the 14 hours. Yeah? Yeah. So this is like this. Yeah, Imad. You also mentioned that. Let's say if he has only 2 hours left in vacation, but then also there are some hours in sick, right? So they can, yeah, that I'm coming to the next. So I'm just going with the basic step first. So you're getting an idea of what this is. Then if you see the other ones, it's like that only. So what they are doing here is, Here they are doing it like PTO to vacation. The name suggests that only. So if he doesn't have PTO balance, it will take it from vacation. Okay, they are creating a fuss for this. We need to have a different pay code. There are 3 types of pay code: standard, contributing, and cascading. So we need to be creating a cascading pay code for that. First, I'll show you. Just assume this as the PTO. So PTO, what this does is, here we are. Instead of unpaid, we are choosing a vacation. That's it. Okay, so if he's missing out here, it will go into vacations. Okay, so for this we need to add a step. This is the step. What it does is, once you put this pay code, compares if you don't have like PTO. It will take it from vacation. Okay, again we can do one more thing. This mostly, we will not be using it, but say if I don't have sick leave, I can take it from vacation. And example, if I don't have vacation, I can take it from sick. We can do both. So in this case, example I'm taking applying for PTO. If I don't have PTO enough balances, the remaining hours will be fetched from vacation. And also here, what I can do is I can give a limit. Okay, you can take it, but until this many hours. I have it like if I am having only 20 hours in vacation. You should not do it, I can do it. Like I can put 20 here so that this cascading will stop once my vacation balance falls to this balance is 20 hours. Clear what this is about? Why do you call it compares? What is? Like we are just giving a name. This is the step's name, that is. We need to add a step to do that. So this will be quite confusing one. So what I will suggest is just have this in mind. This pay code, we are cascading it. How we are cascading is using this. I'll show you 1 second. Let me open that pay code. You'll get an idea of what is accrual cascading. Yeah, it's just simply math. Like we have 2 accruals. Suppose, as Abhi told, like we have only 2 hours. Then at emergency case, you have to go for vacation for 16 hours. So the system is going to be like we have the 14 hours of other. I mean, you are not having additional of 14 hours. So the system is going to be the other accruals. It might be maybe other accruals. So what are the balance? That having some other accruals, it's going to be reduced that 14 and the rest of the system is going to be shown on. Exactly. So, and again, why we have this pay code? Like if you just keep putting vacation or sick, system will not auto accept it. So if you put sick, it will say it will look for the sick balance. If you put vacation, it will look for the vacation balance. But to initiate this cascade, like cascading, we need to have a like here. They have given the name as a stupid one. They need to you like this. If you are going to do a PTO, like for PTO to vacation, you are going to do a cascade. So this is how the pay code name should be. There they have given it as an accrual cascade. This is how it should be, the name PTO cascade. If you're going to take normal PTO. If you're going to running low of balance, so I need to do a cascade means. This is how the pay code should look like. So once you put this pay code, if you don't have hours, In the PTO, it will cascade it to the vacation or whatever you have mapped with the policy. Okay, so this makes sense, right? So, like frankly speaking, this is a test and drama, right? Like new people and trainers, like they will be creating n number of codes here, man. So we cannot look for a proper naming convention. So that's the reason. This should be like PTO cascade. The name should be like that, right? Okay, yeah, see here, right? This is a proper name size CK cascade. That means I'm applying for the size CK. And if I don't have balance on the size CK, it is going to cascade it to this. Yeah. So this is the cascading step. How it will be altering. Like example, if I choose automatically, that particular pay code will be chosen here. Again, this is a mistake. They have done this is a wrong. What they need to do is this example, if they're going to transfer PTO to the vacation, here they need to choose the vacation which is correct. They need to choose vacation here. And the actual code will be our vacation. Whatever we have created, or there are different vacation codes which we have created. We can use one. Okay, because we have mapped this vacation code to my one. And like you have also mapped the same vacation code to US policy. And there are 3. We need to choose which policy it is going to take. That's fine. Then here what we need to do is apply uncascaded balance should always go into loss of pay or unpaid leave. Here they have messed up the policy. You. So what this means see, first I am going to take, let's example. Let's keep it as like this. Let's consider this as sick to vacation. Or vacation. I think I'll choose it. So like this will be definitely in question. And they will keep on questioning this. What this we are doing here is, we are doing a cascade from sick to vacation. Forget about this. If once I put this particular pay code, it will see how many sick hours I have. If I don't have. If I am applying for putting this pay code and applying 8 hours and I have only 2 hours in my sick, it will take the 2 hours from my sick and it will look for 6 hours in vacation and apply my leave. Oh, this is a normal scenario. But let me tell you a scenario. I have only 2 hours of sick and 2 hours of vacation. Now I am going to see. What I am doing is I am applying for a sick of 8 hours. In this case, what it will do? It will take 2 hours from the sick. Then it will go to the vacation and see how many hours I have. I have only 2. So it will take that 2. So now 4 hours done. What happens to the other 4 hours? It will go as unpaid. Right. So always remember we need to choose a different, like they have created a way, they have chosen vacation here and also vacation here. No use of that. This step will come into play only if there is any uncascaded balance. That means system doesn't know where to take it. Here also it's empty. Here also it's empty. What I need to do? That is the answer here. So when you choose here, even if you want to have one more step, like I don't have anything on vacation. I don't have anything on this, whatever the balance I have just left over. I'm going to give it to unpaid. So again, from here also we can add a step. I'll just tell you 1 second. So first let's from example. You can say like from sick to vacation we are going. So say vacation also empty. If I have floating holiday, can I take it? I can take it. I need to add one more step here. 1 second, I'll create a new one. This is getting a mess. I'll show you. So for example, first we have sick, okay. Always choose. Uncascaded goes to whatever. After our steps, let it go to unpaid. So now first let me choose. If I don't have sick, I am putting this pay code. It should take from what? I need to do select action. Add cascading step. So the first step, I am going to look for PTO. If I don't have sick, I'm going to look for PTO bucket. Okay, it will take it from PTO bucket. If PTO is also empty currently, whatever is left over will be paid as given as unpaid. Clear on this? I'll keep it as. Sick to PTO. Okay. Any doubts on this? I don't have sick. If I don't have sick, it will pay me. It will take the balances from PTO and give the leads to me clear. Now again, I don't have anything. Say 2 hours in sick and 2 hours in PTO done. Still I need another 14 hours. Like, do I need to go for unpaid? Or can we have one more step? I can have one more step also. Stating that okay, PTO is completed. Now add a cascading step in the next level. Here I can choose vacation. Take it from the vacation bucket. Take it from my vacation bucket. So I can save it now. 1 second. So this is how the hierarchy works. It will look for sick. If sick is not sufficient, it will look for PTO. The policy is actually the sick from the PTO. If PTO is not there, it can look into vacation. We can add for like a number of steps. Vacation is not there, go and check in for floating holiday. Floating holiday is not there, go and check in emergency leave. If emergency is not there, go and check in here. If nothing is available to pay it out, whatever is uncascaded, I will go for unpaid. Now can you understand? Like, this is how the hierarchy goes. From here, it will look here. This is like important interview questions. When you start editing, a few Kronos interviews, like you might come to know. If you are going for a functional consultant role, this is a mandatory question. So that's all about whatever is available within the pay policy and accruals. So accruals, more or less, I have given you the 100%, whatever is there in Kronos. Mostly people working in Kronos will have idea only on these three and these. Even people who are working in Kronos, they don't know what this cascading profiles are policies. And balance. Cascade and balance cascade groups are because mostly we will not be using it. This is very hard. Even balance cascade. Some companies use it, but this is very hard. Some Australian clients have this policy. And few Europeans will be having these policies, mostly US clients. They don't use this, in my experience. So any other questions in all the So we are done with pay policies and accruals. Practice it at your end. So the next session Monday, when we connect, I will start taking a tour of access profiles, deals, device preferences, whatever is left over. We will go one by one. Okay, so we have gone through the reports, pay policies and accruals. This is a major weightage in our curriculum, these and this. Because bulk chunk of work, what we'll do as a developer will be on these two models in the configurations. So if you take accruals and pay policies, if you take access profiles and other things, mostly you will not be changing the access. Like the company will have a standard policy like this is the access for the employee, this the access for the manager, this is the access for HR, and this is access for the admin. So that access is not going to change frequently. We can see how they are defining the access, but it will remain more or less the same. During implementation, we might be creating it, or once or twice, they will ask for some changes to the entire access. But these pay policies and accruals will keep on changing day to day. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.